money, status, success. Alex Martinez had it all by age 25. The luxurious downtown apartment, the sleek sports car, the expensive suits. Every morning, he would look out over the city skyline from his floor-to-ceiling windows, feeling like he had already won at life. Little did he know that within months, he would lose it all. Every penny, every possession, and every friend who claimed to have his back. But this isn't just another story about failure. This is a story about rising from the ashes, about discovering that rock bottom can become the foundation upon which to build something greater than you ever imagined possible. This is the story of how Alex Martinez lost everything at 25, and through sheer determination, innovative thinking, and unwavering persistence, became a self-made millionaire by 30. They say life's greatest lessons come from our biggest failures. For Alex, this couldn't have been more true. His journey from riches to rags and back again would teach him priceless lessons about business, relationships, and most importantly, himself. Growing up in a middle-class neighborhood in Chicago, Alex learned the value of hard work early in life. His father worked as a mechanic, while his mother managed a small grocery store. Every summer from age 12, Alex would help at his mother's store, watching carefully as she handled everything from inventory management to customer service. These early experiences would plant the seeds for his future business acumen. In high school, Alex wasn't the typical ambitious teenager. He was average in his studies, but he had something special, an eye for opportunity. While his classmates spent their weekends playing video games, Alex started a small business washing cars in his neighborhood. He began with just a bucket, some soap, and a few flyers. Within months, he had a team of friends working for him and a loyal customer base. By 18, Alex had saved enough money to pay for his first year of business school. He chose to attend a local university to keep costs low, working part-time to cover his living expenses. It was during his sophomore year that he spotted his first big opportunity. The rise of social media marketing was just beginning, and Alex noticed how many local businesses struggled to establish their online presence. Using the knowledge from his business classes and his natural instinct for marketing, he started a small digital marketing agency from his dorm room. His first client was his mother's grocery store. The success of her social media campaign attracted other local businesses. Soon, word spread about the young marketing whiz who could transform small businesses' online presence. By his senior year, Alex's agency, Digital Spark Marketing, was handling accounts for over 50 local businesses. He hired fellow students as interns, teaching them the ropes while expanding his client base. Upon graduation, while his peers were sending out resumes, Alex was already making more money than most entry-level corporate positions offered. The next 3 years were a whirlwind of success. Digital Spark Marketing expanded to 3 major cities, with a team of 30 full-time employees. Alex moved into a luxury apartment in downtown Chicago, bought his dream car, and became a regular at the city's most exclusive restaurants and clubs. At 25, he was featured in a local business magazine as one of the youngest successful entrepreneurs in the city. The money rolled in easily, too easily. Each month brought bigger clients and larger contracts. Alex began to believe in his own invincibility. He took bigger risks, expanded faster than his company could handle, and ignored the warning signs that would soon lead to his downfall. Success, as he would learn, can be the most dangerous teacher, especially when it comes too quickly and too easily. His company's rapid growth attracted the attention of larger agencies and potential investors. The attention went straight to his head. He began to spend money as quickly as it came in, certain that his success would only continue to grow. Designer clothes filled his closet, expensive watches adorned his wrist, and luxury cars sat in his garage. The humble lessons of his childhood began to fade under the intoxicating influence of wealth and status. The first signs of trouble appeared in the spring of 2019. Several major clients began delaying their payments, citing budget cuts and economic uncertainty. Alex wasn't worried. He had always managed to find new clients before. But this time was different. The market was changing, and competition in the digital marketing space had become fierce. New agencies were offering similar services at lower prices. Some of Alex's best employees, feeling uncertain about the company's direction, began accepting offers from competitors. Still, he maintained his lavish lifestyle, convinced that this was just a temporary setback. He dipped into his personal savings to cover payroll, certain that things would turn around next month. They didn't. By summer, the situation had become critical. Several major clients cancelled their contracts entirely, moving their business to cheaper alternatives. The remaining clients became increasingly demanding, requiring more services for less money. Alex's reduced team struggled to keep up with the workload, leading to mistakes and declining quality. The stress began to affect every aspect of his life. He couldn't sleep at night, constantly checking his phone for emails from clients or updates on pending payments. His relationships suffered. Friends noticed his changed behavior, how he would check the price of everything, how the confident smile had been replaced by a worried frown. In August, disaster struck. A major client discovered that one of Alex's inexperienced new hires had mishandled their social media campaign, leading to a PR crisis. The client not only terminated their contract, but threatened legal action. The news spread quickly through business circles. Other clients began to question their relationships with digital spark marketing. Within weeks, the company's reputation was in tatters. Clients' exodus became a stampede. The same local business magazine that had celebrated his success now published an article about the dangers of rapid business expansion using digital spark marketing as a cautionary tale. The final blow came when his biggest remaining client, a regional retail chain, cancelled their contract and demanded a refund for the previous 3 months of subpar service. Alex had already spent that money on office rent and employee salaries. His business account was empty, and his personal accounts were nearly drained. One by one, the symbols of his success disappeared. He had to lay off his remaining employees, many of whom he considered friends. The luxury cars were repossessed. The expensive watches and designer clothes were sold to cover mounting debts. Finally, he could no longer afford the rent on his downtown apartment. The worst part wasn't losing the material possessions. It was the silence of his phone. The same people who had once praised his business acumen and sought his advice now avoided his calls. Former clients who had once taken him to expensive dinners now pretended not to see him on the street. The invitations to exclusive events stopped coming. His social media accounts, once filled with congratulatory messages and business opportunities, became ghost towns. On a cold October morning, Alex packed his remaining belongings into 2 suitcases and moved out of his luxury apartment. As he took one last look at the city skyline from his once proud floor-to-ceiling windows, reality finally hit him. At 25, he had lost everything. The company he had built from his dorm room was gone. His reputation in the business world was destroyed. His bank accounts were empty, and his credit score was in ruins. The worst part was, he had no one to blame but himself. With nowhere else to go, Alex moved back into his childhood bedroom at his parents' house. The same room where he had once dreamed of business success now became his refuge from failure. His mother and father welcomed him without judgment, but he could see the worry in their eyes. Their once confident son now spent days in his room, blinds drawn, barely eating. The depression that followed was overwhelming. Alex could barely bring himself to look at his phone or open his laptop, each device a reminder of his failed business. He avoided social media entirely, unable to bear seeing updates from his former employees and clients who had moved on to better things. Sleep became his escape, but even his dreams were filled with memories of his mistakes. The wake-up call came from an unexpected source. One Sunday morning, his mother asked him to help at her grocery store. The regular cashier had called in sick, and she needed someone to fill in. Alex reluctantly agreed, more to escape his father's concerned glances than anything else. As he stood behind the counter, wearing the same store apron he had worn as a teenager, something unexpected happened. He began to notice things he had overlooked in his years of chasing bigger clients and bigger profits. He saw how his mother knew every regular customer by name, how she kept track of their preferences, how she built genuine relationships instead of just transactions. He watched elderly Mrs. Thompson count out exact change for her weekly groceries, and remembered how his mother sometimes slipped extra items into her bag at no charge, knowing her pension barely covered her needs. The store wasn't fancy. The floors were slightly worn, the shelves were simple metal, and the cash register was outdated. But it had something his marketing agency had lost sight of: real human connections. His mother's small grocery store had survived for 20 years while his flashy agency had collapsed in less than 5. That evening, after closing the store, his mother shared a cup of coffee with him. She didn't offer advice or criticize his past decisions. Instead, she told him stories about the early days of her store, about the times she nearly went bankrupt, about the lessons she learned from her failures. It was the first real conversation he'd had in months. The next day, Alex did something he hadn't done since his company's collapse. He opened his laptop. But this time, instead of checking his empty email inbox or avoiding creditor notices, he began to research. He studied successful business turnarounds, analyzed market trends, and most importantly, read about entrepreneurs who had failed and come back stronger. A pattern began to emerge from his research. The most resilient businesses weren't always the biggest or the flashiest. They were the ones that solved real problems for real people. They were the ones that built genuine relationships with their customers. They were the ones that grew sustainably, not just rapidly. As weeks turned into months, Alex started helping regularly at his mother's store. He noticed how many small business owners came through her doors, how they all struggled with the same issues he once helped them solve. But now, with the humbling experience of failure behind him, he saw their challenges differently. He understood their fears, their constraints, their need for practical solutions rather than fancy presentations. One day, while helping a local restaurant owner who was complaining about the high costs of delivery services eating into his profits, Alex had an idea. It wasn't a grand vision of digital marketing dominance like before. It was something simpler, more focused, but potentially more valuable. He spent that night sketching out a business plan, this time with a different approach. No fancy office, no expensive suits, no rapid expansion plans, just a simple solution to a real problem built on the lessons of his failure. For the first time in months, Alex felt the spark of excitement again, but this time it was different. The arrogance of his past success was gone, replaced by something more valuable: wisdom born from failure. He realized that losing everything hadn't been the end of his story. It had been the beginning of a better one. Alex's new business idea was born from the real struggles he witnessed at his mother's store. He noticed how small business owners were overwhelmed by the growing number of delivery apps and online ordering systems. Each platform took a significant cut of their profits, and managing multiple systems was a logistical nightmare. He envisioned a simple, affordable solution that would put power back in the hands of small business owners. Starting with just $5,000 borrowed from his parents, Alex began developing a unified ordering platform. He worked from his childhood bedroom, spending countless hours learning to code through free online courses. When he wasn't coding, he was at his mother's store talking to business owners about their needs and challenges. Every conversation shaped his platform, making it more practical and user-focused. The first version of his platform, LocalLink, was basic but functional. He convinced 3 local restaurants to try it for free, installing the system himself and personally training their staff. The platform consolidated orders from various delivery services into a single, easy-to-manage system. More importantly, it helped businesses build their own customer databases, reducing their dependence on expensive third-party services. Word spread slowly but steadily through the local business community. Alex's past failure, which he now spoke about openly, actually worked in his favor. Business owners appreciated his honesty and his first-hand understanding of their struggles. By the end of his first year, LocalLink was serving 20 local businesses, with a waiting list growing longer each month. This time, Alex approached growth differently. He resisted the temptation to expand too quickly, even when investors began showing interest. Instead of a fancy office, he worked from a small co-working space. Rather than hiring rapidly, he built a small, dedicated team, training each person himself. Every decision was made with sustainability in mind, not quick profits. The turning point came when a regional business association contacted him about implementing LocalLink across their network of 300 small businesses. The old Alex would have jumped at the opportunity immediately. The new Alex spent weeks carefully planning the expansion, ensuring his system could handle the increased load without compromising service quality. The rollout was successful, but not without challenges. There were technical glitches, customer service issues, and moments of doubt. But this time, Alex faced each problem with patience and humility. He personally responded to customer complaints, spent late nights fixing system bugs, and continuously improved the platform based on user feedback. His dedication to solving real problems for small businesses began attracting attention from unexpected places. A national small business magazine featured LocalLink in an article about innovative solutions for independent businesses. This time, when journalists asked about his previous failure, Alex shared his story openly, turning his past mistakes into valuable lessons for other entrepreneurs. As LocalLink's success grew, Alex remained grounded. He continued visiting his clients personally, understanding their changing needs, and adapting his platform accordingly. His mother's grocery store remained his testing ground for new features, and he still helped out there on busy weekends. The lessons of genuine connection and community value that he had learned during his darkest days became the foundation of his business philosophy. By the end of his second year, LocalLink was serving over 1,000 businesses across 3 states. The company was profitable, but more importantly, it was making a real difference in the lives of small business owners. Alex's team had grown to 15 people, each chosen not just for their skills, but for their commitment to the company's mission of supporting local businesses. Investment offers began pouring in again, but this time, Alex evaluated them carefully. He accepted funding only from investors who shared his vision of sustainable growth and community impact. The money went into improving the platform and expanding support services, not into luxury offices or expensive marketing campaigns. 3 years after his devastating fall, Alex Martinez achieved something he never expected. LocalLink's valuation crossed $50 million, making him a millionaire once again at age 30. But this time, the achievement felt different. The number in his bank account wasn't what made him proud. Instead, it was the 10,000 small businesses using his platform, the hundreds of jobs his company had created, and the communities his service had helped strengthen. His office now sat above his mother's grocery store, a deliberate choice to stay connected to his roots. The space was modest but functional, filled with the energy of a team passionate about their mission. The walls displayed stories of small businesses that had thrived using LocalLink, not magazine covers, celebrating his success. National retail chains began approaching LocalLink, offering massive contracts to implement the system across their locations. Alex accepted some of these opportunities, but always with conditions that protected the interests of small businesses. He used the leverage of big contracts to negotiate better terms for his smaller clients, creating a business ecosystem that benefited everyone. The local business magazine that had once chronicled both his meteoric rise and catastrophic fall now wrote a different kind of story. They focused not on his wealth, but on how his failure had transformed him from a flashy entrepreneur into a thoughtful business leader. The article went viral, inspiring other entrepreneurs to share their stories of failure and redemption. Looking back at his journey, Alex realized that losing everything at 25 had been the best thing that could have happened to him. His failure had taught him lessons that success never could. He learned that true business success wasn't about impressive offices or luxury cars. It was about solving real problems, building genuine relationships, and creating value for others. The same skills he had developed in his first business were still valuable, but now he used them differently. His marketing knowledge helped small businesses compete with larger chains. His understanding of social media helped local shops build authentic online communities. Even his experience of failure became an asset, helping him guide other entrepreneurs through their own challenges. Today, Alex Martinez's story serves as a powerful reminder that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. His journey from success to failure and back again demonstrates that losing everything doesn't mean the end. Sometimes it means the beginning of something better. The lessons he learned along the way remain relevant for every aspiring entrepreneur. Success built too quickly can crumble just as fast. True wealth comes not just from making money, but from creating value for others. Most importantly, the greatest opportunities often hide behind our biggest failures. As LocalLink continues to grow, Alex maintains the habits that helped him rebuild. He still helps at his mother's store occasionally, mentors struggling entrepreneurs, and shares his story with others who face similar challenges. His office wall now holds a simple frame containing his old business card from Digital Spark Marketing. It serves as a daily reminder that success without wisdom is temporary, but lessons learned from failure can last a lifetime. In the end, Alex's story isn't just about losing everything at 25 and becoming a millionaire at 30. It's about the transformation that happened in between. It's about learning that real success isn't measured by what you own, but by the value you create for others. It's about understanding that sometimes you need to lose everything to find something worth building. If Alex's journey has resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your own path. Whether you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey, facing challenges in your business, or rebuilding after a setback, remember that every failure carries the seeds of future success. Share this video with someone who might need this message today, someone who might be struggling with their own business challenges or feeling discouraged after a setback. Your share could be the spark of hope they need. Want to be part of our community of resilient entrepreneurs? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Every week we bring you real stories of business transformation and practical insights you can apply to your own journey. Leave a comment below sharing your own experience with failure and success. What lessons have your setbacks taught you? Your story could inspire others who are going through similar challenges. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Sometimes your biggest setback might just be setting you up for your greatest comeback. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in your ability to turn any situation around. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.